This play is called Our Town. It was written by Thornton Wilder, produced and directed by CBC High School. In it, you will see Miss Priestmeyer, Miss Herman, Miss Romero, Mr. Loncarrick, Mr. Brewer, Mr. Bowen, and many others. The name of the town is Grover's Corners, New Hampshire, just across the Massachusetts line. Latitude 42 degrees 40 minutes, longitude 7 degrees 37 minutes. The first act was a day in our town. The day is May 7th, 1901. The time, just before dawn. The sky is beginning to show some streaks of light over in the east there, behind our mountain. The morning star always gets wonderful bright the minute before it has to go, doesn't it? Well, I better share how our town lies. Up here is Main Street, and way back there is the railway station. Tracks go that way. Polish towns across the tracks, and some Canuck families. Over there's a Congregational church, and across the streets is Presbyterian. Methodist and Unitarian are over there. Baptist is down the hollow by the river. Catholic church is over beyond the tracks. There's the town hall and the post office combined. Jail's in the basement. William Jennings Bryan once made a speech from these very steps here. Along here's a row of stores, hitching posts and horse blocks in front of them. Our first automobile come along in about 5 years, belonged to Banker Cartwright, our richest citizen. Lives in the big White House up on the hill. There's the grocery store, and there's Mr. Morgan's drugstore. Almost everyone manages to look into those two stores once a day. Public school's over yonder, and high school's farther over. 9 mornings, noon times, and 3 o'clock afternoons. Whole town can hear the yelling and screaming from those schoolyards. This is our doctor's house. Doc Gibbs. It's the back door. There's some scenery for those who think they have to have scenery. This is Mrs. Gibbs' garden. Corn, peas, beans, hollyhocks, heliotrope, and a lot of burdock. In those days, our newspaper come out twice a week. The Grover's Corner Sentinel. This is Editor Webb's house, and this is Mrs. Gibbs' garden. Just like Mrs. Gibbs only has a lot of sunflowers, too. Then here's a big butternut tree. Nice town, you know what I mean? Nobody very remarkable ever come out of it, as far as we know. Earliest tombstones in the cemetery say 1670, 1680. Grovers, Cartwrights, Gibbses, and Herseys. Same names that are around here now. Well, it's about dawn, and the only lights on our town are a cottage across the tracks where a Polish mother just had twins, and the Joe Crowell house where Joe Crowell Jr. is getting ready to deliver the paper, and the depot where Shorty Hawkins is getting ready to flag the 5:45 for Boston. Naturally, out in the country there have been lights on for some time now. What? With the Milkins and so on. Townspeople sleep late. So, another day has begun. Doc Gibbs will be coming down Main Street, back from that baby case. That's his wife, coming to make breakfast. Doc Gibbs died in 1930. The hospital is named after him. Mrs. Gibbs, his wife, died first. Long time ago, in fact. She went to visit her daughter Rebecca, who had made an insurance man in Canton, Ohio. She died there, pneumonia. But her body was shipped back here. She's up in the cemetery there now with a whole mess of Gibbses and Herseys. She was Julie Hersey before she made Doc Gibbs in the Congregational church. In our town, we like to know the facts about everyone. There's Mrs. Webb coming down to make breakfast, too. That's Doc Gibbs. Got the call at 1:30 this morning. And there's Joe Crowell Jr. delivering Mr. Webb's Sentinel.
Morning, Doc Gibbs.
Morning, Joe.
Anyone been sick, Doc?
No, just some twins born in Polish Town.
You want your paper now?
Yes, I'll take it. Anything serious going on in the world since Wednesday?
Yes, sir. My school teacher, Miss Foster, is getting married to a fellow down in Concord.
I declare. How do you boys feel about that?
Well, it ought to be none of my business. But I think that if a lady starts out to be a teacher, they ought to stay one.
How's your knee, Joe?
Fine, Doc. Hardly ever think about it anymore. Only like you said, it always tells me when it's about to rain.
What's it telling you today? Going to rain?
No, sir.
Sure.
Yes, sir.
Knee ever make a mistake?
No, sir.
I want to tell you something about that boy Joe Crowell there. Joe was awful bright. Graduated from high school here, head of his class. So he got a scholarship to Massachusetts Tech. Graduated head of his class there, too. It was all written up in the Boston paper at the time. Gonna be a great engineer, Joe was. But the war broke out and he died in France. All that education for nothing.
Vamos, Bessie. ¿Qué pasa contigo hoy?
There's how I knew some delivering the milk.
Morning, Doc.
Buenos días, Howie.
¿Alguien enfermo?
Un par de gemelos en la casa de la señora Gruzwalski.
Gemelos, ¿eh? Esta ciudad se hace más grande cada año.
Va a llover, Howie?
Oh, no, un buen día. Eso ahora se despejara. Wow, Bessie.
Hola, Bessie. ¿Cuántos años tienen? Howie?
Está a punto de cumplir 17. La pobre bestia está toda confundida con la ruta desde que los Lockharts dejaron de recibir su litro de leche diario. La-
Good morning, Howie.
Morning, Miss Gibbs.
Seems like you're late today.
Yes, something went wrong with the separator. Don't know what 'twas. Doc?
Howie?
Children, time to get up.
Vamos, Bessie.
George, Rebecca. Everything all right, Frank?
Yes, I declare. Easy as kittens.
Bacon will be ready in a minute. Sit down and drink your coffee. You can catch a couple hours of sleep this morning, can't you?
Mrs. Wentworth's coming at 11. I know what her stomach ain't what it ought to be.
Well, all told, you won't get more than 3 hours of sleep, Frank Gibbs. I do wish I could get you to go away someplace and take a real rest. I think it would do you good. I declare, you've got to speak to George. Seems like something's come over him lately. He's no help to me at all. I can't even get him to cut me some wood.
Is he sassy to you?
No, he just whines and all he thinks about is that baseball. George, Rebecca, you'll be late for school.
George, look sharp.
Yes, Pa.
George, don't you hear your mother calling you? I guess I'll go up and get 40 winks.
Wally, Emilia, van a llegar tarde a la escuela. Wally, lávate bien o voy a subir y hacerlo yo misma.
Ma, what dress shall I wear?
Don't make a noise. Your father's been out all night and he needs to sleep. I washed and ironed your blue gingham for you special.
Ma, I hate that dress.
Oh, hush up with you.
Every day I go to school dressed like a sick turkey.
Now, Rebecca, you always look very nice.
Mama, George is throwing soap at me.
I'll come slap both of you, that's what I'll do.
We got a factory in our town, too. Hear it? Makes blankets. Cartwrights own it. Brought him a fortune.
Niños, esto no se los permito. El desayuno es una comida tan importante como cualquier otra y no quiero que traguen como lobos. Quita tus libros, Wally.
Pero mamá, tengo hasta las 10 de la mañana para saber todo lo que hay que saber sobre Canadá.
Sabes muy bien que no debes poner los libros sobre la mesa. Prefiero tener hijos sanos que inteligentes.
Yo soy las dos cosas, mamá. Tú lo sabes. Yo soy más inteligente entre las muchachas de mi edad en el colegio. Tengo una memoria extraordinaria.
Come tu desayuno.
Yo también soy inteligente cuando trabajo en mi colección de estampillas.
I'll speak to your father about it when he's rested. But seems to me 25 cents a week's enough for a boy your age. I declare, I don't know how you spend it.
Oh, Ma, I got a lot of things to buy.
Strawberry phosphates, that's what you'll spend it on.
I don't see how Rebecca comes up with so much money. She has more than $1.
I've been saving it up gradual.
Well, dear, I think it's a good thing to spend some of your money every now and then.
Mama, do you know what I love most in the world? Do you? Money.
Eat your breakfast.
Oh, Ma, I gotta go.
Caminen rápido, pero no corren. Wally, súbete tus pantalones a la rodilla. Enderezate, Emilia.
Tell Miss Foster I sent her my best congratulations. Can you remember that?
Yes, Ma.
You look real nice, Rebecca. Pick up your feet.
Yeah, pick up your feet.
Here, chick, 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 chick. Here, chick, chick, chick. Oh, what's the matter with you? Fight, 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 that's all you do. Oh, don't be scared. No one's gonna hurt you. Where'd you come from? Good morning, Myrtle. How's your cold?
Well, I still get that tickling feeling in my throat. I told Charles I didn't know, as I'd go to choir practice tonight. Wouldn't be any use.
Have you tried singing over your voice?
Yes, but somehow I can't do that and stay on the key. While I'm resting myself, I thought I'd string some of these beans.
Beans have been good this year. Here, let me help you.
I decided to put up 40 quarts if it kills me. The children say they hate them, but I see they're able to get them down all winter.
Myrtle Webb, I've got to tell you something. Because if I don't tell someone, I'll burst.
Why, Julia Gibbs.
Here, give me some of those beans. Did one of those second-hand furniture men from Boston come visit you last Friday?
No.
Well, one called upon me, and first I thought he was a patient one to see Dr. Gibbs, and Myrtle Webb. He wormed his way into my parlor and offered me $350 for Grandmother Wentworth's old highboy as I'm sitting there.
Why, Julia Gibbs!
He did, and why, that old thing, I didn't know where to put it, and it was so big, and I almost gave it to Cousin Hester Wilcox.
Well, you're going to take it, aren't you?
I don't know.
You don't know. $350. What's come over you?
Well, if I could get the doctor to take the money and go away on a real trip, I'd sell it. Like that. You know, Myrtle, it's been the dream of my life to see Paris, France. No. The doctor says it might make him discontented with Grover's Corner to go trass about Europe. Better let well enough alone.
Well, Mr. Webb just admires the way Dr. Gibbs knows everything about the Civil War. Mr. Webb's a good mind to give up Napoleon and move over to the Civil War. Only Dr. Gibbs being one of the greatest experts in the country just makes him despair.
Yes, it's a fact. Dr. Gibbs is never so happy to when he's in Antietam or Gettysburg. You know, Myrtle, the times I've walked over those hills, stopping at every bush, pacing it all out, like we're going to buy it.
Well, if that second-hand man's serious about buying it, Julia, you sell it. Then you'll get to see Paris, all right. Just keep dropping hints from time to time. That's how I got to see the Atlantic Ocean anyway.
Oh, I'm sorry I mentioned it. Only, it seems to me that once in your life, before you die, you ought to see a country where they don't speak English and don't even want to.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you very much. Now, we're going to skip a few hours, but first we want a little more information about the town. Kind of a scientific account, you might say. So I've asked Professor Willard of our state university to sketch in a few details of our past history here. Is Professor Willard here? May I introduce Professor Willard of our state university? A few brief notes. Thank you, Professor. Unfortunately, our time is limited.
Grover's Corners. Let me see. Yes, Grover's Corners lies in the old Pleistocene grant of the Appalachian Range. You may say it's some of the oldest land in the world. We're very proud of that. It lies on a shelf of Devonian basalt and crosses with vestiges of Mesozoic shale and some sandstone outcroppings, but that's all more recent, 200, 300 million years old. Some highly interesting fossils have been found. I may say, unique fossils, found just 2 miles out of town in Silas Peckham's cow pasture. They can be viewed at our university at any time. That is, any reasonable time, of course. Shall I go into some of Professor Gruber's notes on the meteorological situation, mean precipitation, etc.?
We won't have time for that, Professor. We may have a few words on the history of man here.
Yes, anthropological data. Early Amerindian stock, Cochachi tribes. No evidence until the 10th century of that era. Now entirely disappeared. Possible traces in 3 families. Migration towards the end of the 17th century of English brachiocephalic blue-eyed stock. For the most part, since then some Slav and Mediterranean.
And the population, Professor Willard?
Within town limits, 2,640.
Just a moment, Professor.
Oh, yes, indeed. Well then, the current population at the moment is 2,642. The postal district brings in an extra 507 more, giving us a grand total of 3,419. The mortality and birth rates, constant, by McPherson's gauge, 6.032.
Thank you very much, Professor. We are all very much obliged to you, I'm sure.
Oh, not at all, sir, not at all.
That way, Professor. Thank you again. Now for the political and social report. Editor Webb? Editor Webb?
Charles, todo el mundo te está esperando.
Mr. Webb is the publisher and editor of the Grover's Corner Sentinel. That's a local paper, you know.
Well, I don't have to tell you that we're run by a board of selectmen. All males vote at 21. Women vote indirect. We're lower middle class, sprinkling of professional men, 10% illiterate laborers. Politically, we're 86% Republican, 6% Democrat, 4% socialist, rest indifferent. Religiously, we're 85% Protestant, 12% Catholic, rest indifferent.
Have you any commentary, Mr. Webb?
Very ordinary town, if you ask me. A little better behaved than most, probably a lot duller, but young people seem to like it well enough. 90% of them graduating from high school settled down right here to live, even when they've been away to college.
Now, is there anyone in the audience who'd like to ask Editor Webb anything about the town?
Is there much drinking in Grover's Corners?
Well, ma'am, I don't know what you'd call much. Saturday nights, the farmhands go down to Ellery Greenhouse stable and holler some. They're always having remorses every time an evangelist comes to town. No, ma'am, I ain't say liquor's a regular thing in the home, except in the medicine chest. Right good for a snake bite, always was.
Is there no one in town aware of,
Come forward, will you? We all can hear you. What were you saying?
Yes, is there no one in town aware of social injustice and industrial inequality?
Oh, yes, everybody is. It's something terrible. Seems like they spend all their time talking about who's rich and who's poor.
Then why don't they do something about it?
Well, I don't know. Seems we're all searching for a way the diligent and sensible can rise to the top, the lazy and quarrelsome can sink to the bottom. But it ain't easy to find. Meanwhile, we do all we can to help those who can't help themselves. For those who can, we leave alone. Any other questions?
Oh, Mr. Webb. Mr. Webb, is there any culture or love of beauty in Grover's Corners?
No, ma'am. There ain't much culture. Not in the sense that you mean it. Come to think of it, there are some girls down at high school commencement that play the piano, but they ain't happy about it. No, ma'am, there ain't much culture. But maybe this is the place to tell you that we've got a lot of pleasures of the kind. We notice the sun coming over the mountains. We notice the good about the birds. Yes, we know all about them. And the change of the seasons. Yes, everybody knows those. But those other things, no, ma'am, there ain't much. Handel's Crusoe and the Bible. It Handel's Largo. Those are about all we know. And Whistler's Mother. Yes, we all know those.
So I thought. Thank you, Mr. Webb.
Thank you, Mr. Webb. Now we're going to go back to the town. It's early afternoon. All 2,642 have had their dinners and all the dishes have been washed. There's an early afternoon calm in our town, a humming and a buzzing from the school buildings, a few buggies on Main Street, horses dozing at the hitching post. You remember what it's like. Doc Gibbs in his office, tapping people, making them say ah, and there's Mr. Webb over there cutting his lawn. One man in 10 believes it's a privilege to push his own lawnmower. No, sir. It's later than I thought. And there are the children coming home from school already.
I can't, Luis. I've got to go home and help my mother.
Come on.
Goodbye.
Caminas por las nubes, Emilia. A ver, ¿quién te imaginas que eres ahora?
Eres terrible, papá. Me dices que pongo en los pies y la tierra y inmediatamente después te burlas de mí. Nunca más dejarte caso.
Nunca antes recibí el beso de una dama tan importante.
Excuse me, Miss Forrest.
Go out and play in the fields, young man. You have no business playing baseball on Main Street.
Awfully sorry, Mrs. Forrest. Hello, Emily.
Hello.
You made a fine speech in class today.
Well, I was really ready to talk about the Monroe Doctrine, but at the last minute, Miss Corcoran made me talk about the Louisiana Purchase. I worked an awful long time on both, though.
Gee, it's funny. From my window up there, I can just barely see over your head nights while you're doing your homework over in your room.
Why, can you?
Yeah, you stick to it, Emily. I don't see how you're that good at school.
Well, I feel it's just something a person has to go through.
Yeah.
I don't mind it really, though. It passes the time.
What do you say we make a kind of telegraph from your window to mine? And if I ever get stuck on one of those algebra problems, you could give me a hint or two? Not the answers, of course not, Emily. Just some little hint.
Well, George, I guess hints are all right. So if you, get stuck, give me a whistle, and I'll give you a hint.
Emily, you're just naturally bright, I guess.
I guess it's the way a person's born.
Well, I want to be a farmer on my Uncle Luke's farm, and he says whenever I'm ready, I can just come over and start working on it. And if I'm any good, I can just gradually have it.
You mean the house and everything?
Yeah, well, thanks, Emily. I better be getting down to the baseball fields. Thanks for the talk. Good afternoon, Mrs. Webb.
Good afternoon, George.
So long, Emily.
So long, George.
Emilia, ven, ayudarme a despuntar estas habichuelas. Ya veo que Jorge Gibbs se ha vuelto conversador, ¿no? Parece que está creciendo. ¿Qué edad tendrá Jorge?
No lo sé.
A ver, debe tener cerca de 16.
Mamá, hice una presentación en clase y me fue muy bien.
¡Wow! Debes mostrarle lo que hiciste a tu padre a la hora de la comida. ¿De qué se trataba?
Sobre la compra de Luisiana, me quedó tan fluido como un hilo de seda corriendo por una bobina. Voy a dedicarme a hacer discurso toda mi vida. Mamá, ¿está bien así?
Si puedes, trata de no cortarlas tanto.
Sobre la... Mamá, quiero que seas en serio conmigo algo.
¿Qué? Dime.
Mamá, ¿crees que soy atractiva?
Claro que sí. Todos mis hijos tienen buenas facciones. Me avergonzaría si no fuera así.
Pero mamá, no es eso lo que quiero preguntarte. Te pregunto si soy bonita.
Emilia, ya te lo he dicho. Sí lo eres. Y basta. Eres joven y tienes una buena cara. ¿Qué tonterías traes?
Mamá, nunca me dices la verdad sobre nada.
Te estoy diciendo la verdad.
Mamá, ¿eres tú bonita?
Sí, lo era, si quieres que te diga la verdad. Era la muchacha más linda del pueblo después de Mamie Cartwright.
Pero mamá, debes ser sincero conmigo. ¿Soy yo lo suficientemente bonita para hacer que alguien que gente se fue en mí?
Emilia, me agotas. Basta. Tienes tu propio encanto para tener una vida normal. Vamos andando y lleva esta vasija.
Pero mamá...
Thank you. That'll do. We'll have to interrupt again here. Thank you, Mrs. Webb. Thank you, Emily. There's some more things I'd like to explore about the town. I think this is a good time to tell you that the Cartwright interests have just begun building a new bank in Grover's Corners. Had to go to Vermont to get the marble, sorry to say. They asked a friend of mine what they should put in the cornerstone for people to dig up. 1,000 years from now. Of course, they'll put in a copy of the New York Times and a copy of Mr. Webb Sentinel. We're kind of interested in this because a few scientific fellows have found a way of painting all that reading matter with a glue, a silicate glue that'll make it keep for 1,000, 2,000 years. We're putting it in a Bible,
Most people are sitting
the
out
Constitution of the United States, and Babylon once had 2 million people in it, and all you know about them is the copies of wheat contracts and the copies of the sale of slaves. And yet, all those families sat down for supper. The father came home from work, and the smoke went up the chimney, same as here. And even in Greece and Rome, all we know about the real lives of the people is what we can piece together in the joking comedies and poems for the theater back then. So, I'm going to have a copy of this play put in the cornerstone. And the people 1,000 years from now will know a few simple facts about us, more than the Treaty of Versailles and the Limburg Flight. See what I mean? So, people 1,000 years from now, this is the way we were in the provinces north of New York at the beginning of the 20th century. This is the way we were in our growing up, our marrying, our living, and our dying. Well, a great deal of time's gone by. You can hear choir practice going on in the Congregational Church, the children at home doing their schoolwork. This day's running down like a tired clock.
Now look here, everybody. Music came into the world to give pleasure. So be softer. Softer. Get it out of your heads that music is only meant to be loud. You can leave that loudness to the Methodists. You couldn't even beat them, not even if you wanted to. Now again, in tenors. Psst. Emily.
Hello?
Hello.
Isn't the moonlight just terrible? It's impossible to get any work done.
Emily, did you get the third problem?
Which?
The third?
Why, yes, George. That's the easiest one of them all.
I don't see it. Can you give me a hint?
I'll tell you one thing. The answer's in yards.
In yards? How so?
In square yards?
Oh. In square yards.
In square yards of wallpaper.
Wallpaper? Oh, I see. Thank you, Emily.
Isn't the moonlight just terrible? And with choir practice going on, and I think if you hold your breath long enough, you can hear the train all the way to Conticook. Hear it?
What do you know?
Well, I guess I better go back and try to do my work.
All right. Good night, Emily.
Good night, George.
All right. Now, before I forget it, how many of you can stay next Tuesday afternoon to sing at Fred Hershey's wedding? Show your hands. That'll be fine. That'll be right nice. We'll do the same music we did at Jane Trowbridge's last month.
Now, we're going to do it again. And it's a question, ladies and gentlemen, so make it talk. Ready?
Oh, George, can you come down a minute?
Yes, Pa.
Make yourself comfortable. I'll only keep you a minute. George, how old are you?
I'm 16, almost 17.
What do you want to do after school is over?
You know that. I want to be a farmer on Uncle Luke's farm.
You'll be willing, will you, to wake up early, milk and feed the stock, and you'll be willing to hoe and hay all day long?
Why? Sure I will. What are you saying?
Well, I heard this funny sound in my office. And what do you think it was? It was your mother chopping wood. There you see your mother, waking up early, cooking meals all day long, washing and ironing, and still she has to go out in the backyard and chop wood. I suppose she just got tired of asking you, like, it's just easy for her to do it herself. And you put on the clothes that she keeps nice for you, you eat her meals, and you go run off and play baseball? Like she's some hired girl that we keep around the house, but we don't like very much. George, all I knew I had to do was call your attention to it. Here's a handkerchief, son.
Thank you, Pa.
George, I've decided to raise your spending allowance 25 cents per week. Not for chopping wood, of course, because that's a present that you give her, but because you're getting older, and I can imagine you must find things to do with it. Let's see. Tomorrow's your payday. You can count on it. Rebecca, I feel like she ought to have more, too. Choir practice has never ran this late before.
It's only 8:30, Pa.
I don't know why she's in that old choir anyway. She ain't have any more voice in her than an old crow. Traipsing around these streets this late at night. Don't you think it's about time you retired?
Yes, Pa.
I'll tell Mr. Webb. I know he'll want to put it in the paper.
My, it's late. Real nice choir practice. Myrtle Webb, look at the moon, will you? Potato weather for sure.
Naturally, I didn't want to say anything, but now we're alone. Really, it is the worst scandal to ever happen in this town.
What?
Simon Stimson!
Now, Luella.
But Julia, to have the organist of a church drink and drunk year after year? You know he was drunk tonight.
Now, Luella, we all know about Simon Stimson and the trouble he's been through, and Dr. Ferguson knows it too. And if Dr. Ferguson keeps him there in his job, the only thing the rest of us can do is not notice it.
Not to notice it, but it's getting worse.
No, it isn't, Luella. It's getting better. I've been in the choir twice as long as you have. It doesn't happen anywhere near as often. My, I hate to go to bed on a night like this. I better hurry. The children will be sitting up till all hours. Good night, Luella.
Can you get home safe, Luella?
It's his brightest day. I can see Mr. Soames scowling at the window now. You think we've been to a dance the way menfolk carry on?
Well, we had a real good time.
You're late enough.
Why, Frank, it ain't any later than usual.
And you stopping in the corner to gossip with a lot of hens?
Now, Frank, don't be grouchy. Come out and smell the heliotrope in the moonlight, will you? Isn't that wonderful? What did you do all the time I was away?
I read, as usual. What were the girls gossiping about?
Believe me, Frank, there's something to gossip about.
Simon Simpson, far gone, was he?
The worst I've ever seen him. How will that end, Frank? Dr. Ferguson can't forgive him forever.
I guess I know about Simon Simpson's affairs than anybody in this town. I don't know how that'll end. Some people just ain't made for the small town life. But there's nothing we can do about it. Come, Julia.
No, not yet, Frank. I'm worried about you.
What are you worried about?
I think it's my duty to make plans for you to get real rest and change, and if I get that legacy, I'm going to insist on it.
No, Julia, there's no sense in going over that again.
Frank, you're just unreasonable.
Come, Julia. It's getting late. And the last thing I need is for you to get a cold. I already gave George a piece of my mind tonight. I have a feeling you'll have your wood chopped for a while. No, Julia. Start getting upstairs.
Oh dear, there's always so much to clean up, seems like. You know, Frank, Miss Fairchild locks her front door every night. Everyone in that part of town do.
That's the issue with them. They're all getting cityfied. There's nothing fit to burgle, and everybody knows it.
Rebecca, get down. You know there's only room for one at this window.
Well, let me look just a minute.
Use your own window.
I did, but there's no moon there. George, do you know what I think? Do you? I think the moon's getting nearer and nearer, and soon there'll be a big explosion.
Rebecca, you don't know anything. If the moon were getting nearer, the men who sit up all night on their telescopes would know, and they'd tell all about it, and it'd be in all the newspapers.
George, is the moon shining on South America, Canada, and half the whole world?
Well, probably is.
9:30. Most of the lights are out. No. There's Constable Warren trying a few doors on Main Street, and here comes Editor Webb after putting his newspaper to bed.
Buenas noches, Bill.
Buenas noches, señor Webb.
Mira esa luna.
Ah, sí.
La noche está tranquila.
Simon Stibson. Anda se por ahí. Si pica su esposa salió asbucado. Así te digo, loco. Míralo. Arriba.
Good evening, Simon. Town seems to have settled down tonight pretty well. Guess we'd better do the same. Good night.
Señor Webb.
Bueno, ese hombre no la ha tenido fácil. Una cosa tras la otra. Ah, Bill, si ves a mi hijo fumando cigarros, ¿podrías decirle algo? Él te respeta mucho, Bill.
No creo que fue un cigarrillo, señor Webb. En menos o más un 13 años.
Espero que no. Bueno, buenas noches, Bill.
Buenas noches, señor Webb.
¿Quién está ahí? ¿Eres tú, muerto?
No, soy yo, papá.
¿Por qué no te has ido a acostar?
No sé, no podía quedarme dormida. La luz de la luna es tan maravillosa. Y el perfume de heliotropo de señora Gibbs. ¿Lo sientes?
Sí. ¿Tienes alguna preocupación, Emilia?
Preocupación. Papá, no.
Pasarlo bien, pero que no te sorprendas tu madre. Buenas noches, Emilia.
Buenas noches, papá.
I never told you about that letter Jane Crowfoot got from her minister when she was sick. Her minister wrote her a letter, and on the envelope, the address was like this. It said, Jane Crowfoot, the Crowfoot Farm, Grover's Corners, Sutton County, New Hampshire, the United States of America.
What's funny about that?
But listen, it's not finished. The United States of America, continent of North America, the Western Hemisphere, the Earth, the solar system, the universe, the mind of God. That's what it said on the envelope.
What do you know?
And the postman brought it just the same.
What do you know?
That's the end of the first act, friends. You can go and smoke now. That was a smoke. 3 years have gone by. Yes, the sun's come up over 1,000 times. Summers and winters have cracked the mountain a little bit more, and the rain has brought down some of the dirt. Some babies that weren't born before have begun talking regular sentences already. And a number of people who thought they were right young and spry have noticed they can't bound up a flight of stairs like they used to, not out their heart fluttering a little, all that can happen in 1,000 days. Nature's been pushing contriving in other ways too. A number of young people fell in love and got married. Yes, the mountain got a bit away just a few fractions of an inch. Millions of gallons of water by the mill, and here and there a new home was sent up under a roof. Almost everybody in the world gets married. You know what I mean? In our town, there aren't hardly any exceptions. Most everybody in the world climbs to their grave married. The first act is called the daily life. This act is called love and marriage. There's another act coming after this. I reckon you can guess what that's about. Well, 3 years have gone by. 1904, July 7th, just before high school commencement. That's the time our young people jump up and get married. Once they pass their final examinations in solid geometry and Cicero's orations, looks like they suddenly feel themselves fit to be married. It's early morning. Only this time, it's been raining, pouring and thundering. Mrs. Gibbs' garden, Mrs. Webb's garden, drenched. All those bean poles and pea vines, drenched. All yesterday on Main Street, the rain looked like currents being blown along. me begin again. Any minute. There! You can hit the 5:45 for Boston. There's Mrs. Webb and Mrs. Gibbs coming down to make breakfast, as though it was an ordinary day. I don't have to point out to the women in my audience that those women they see before them, both of them, cook 3 meals a day. One for 20 years, the other for 40. And no summer vacation. Brought up 2 children apiece, washed, cleaned the house, and never a nervous breakdown. It's like what one of those Middle West poets said. You have to love life to have life. You have to have life to love life. It's what they call a vicious circle.
Spicy.
There's how Newsom delivering the milk, and there's that crowd delivering the paper like his brother before him.
Morning, Howie.
Morning, Si. Anything in the papers I ought to know?
Nothing much, except we're losing just about the best pitcher Grover's Corner's ever seen, George Gibbs.
Reckon he is.
He could hit and run bases, too.
Yep, mighty fine ball player. Whoa, Bessie, I can stop and talk if I've got a mind to.
I don't see how he could give up a thing like that just to get married. Would you, Howie?
Couldn't tell you, Si. Never had no talent that way. Madrugaste, Bill?
Estoy viendo so pueden hacer para evitar hundición. El río ha secado toda la noche. Pues así es. Mira, sí. En el 84 teníamos un jugador. Messi que George Webbs podía competir. Se llamaba Hank Todd. Senador, Messi hizo pastor. Gran jugador en béisbol. Howie, ¿cómo es el frío?
Oh, no está tan mal. Creo que se despejará pronto.
Adios, Howie.
Adios.
Do you think it's going to rain again?
Morning, Miss Gibbs. Rained so hard last night, I reckon it'll clear up.
Certainly hope it will.
How much did you need today?
I'm going to have a house full of relations, Howie. Looks to me I'll need 3 of milk and 2 of cream.
My wife says to tell you we both hope to be very happy, Miss Gibbs. No, they will.
Thanks a lot, Howie. Tell your wife I hope she gets there to the wedding.
Oh, she'll be there. She'll be there if she can. Vamos, Bessie. Buenos días, señora Webb.
Buenos días, señor Newsom. Sé que le había pedido 4 botellas, pero espero que me pueda dar una más.
Sí, señora. Y las 2 de crema.
¿Cree usted que va a volver a llover?
Justo le estaba diciendo a la señora Gibbs que va a aclarar. La señora Newsom me dijo que le dijera que esperamos que ambos sean muy felices, señora Webb.
Gracias, y gracias a la señora Newsom. Contamos con ustedes para la boda.
Sí, señora. Vamos, Bessie.
Well, Ma, the day has come. You're losing one of your chicks.
Frank Gibbs, don't you say another word. I feel like crying every minute. Sit down and drink your coffee.
The groom's up shaving himself. Only there ain't a lot to shave. Whistling and singing like he's glad to leave us. Every now and then he says I do to the mirror, but it don't sound convincing to me.
I declare, I don't know how they'll get along, Frank. I've arranged his clothes for him and seen to it he has warm things to put on. They're too young. Emily won't think of such things. He'll catch a death of his cold within a week.
I was remembering my wedding morning, Julia.
Now, don't start with that, Frank Gibbs.
I was the scaredest, youngest fella in the state of New Hampshire. I thought I'd make a mistake for sure. The only issue is that I've never seen you before, and when I saw you coming down that aisle, I thought you were the prettiest girl I've ever seen. There I was, marrying a total stranger in the Congregational Church.
And how do you think I felt? Weddings are perfectly awful things. Farces, that's what they are. Here, I've made something for you.
Why, Julia Hersey, French toast?
Tain't hard to make, and I had to do something.
How did you sleep last night, Julia?
Well, I heard a lot of the hours struck off.
Yes. I thought, George, setting out to be a family man, it scares me. That great gangling thing. I don't know how they're going to end up.
Yes, people are meant to go through life 2 by 2. Tain't natural to be lonesome.
Why, Julia, you know one of the things I was scared of when I married you?
Oh, go along with you.
I was afraid we wouldn't have enough conversation more than last just a few weeks. Like we just eat our meals in silence. That's a fact.
Well, good weather, bad weather. I always find something to say. Did you hear Rebecca Sterner upstairs?
No, only time of the year I haven't heard Rebecca stooping in anybody's business.
Lord
I
sake.
get the impression she's crying.
This has got to stop. Rebecca, come get your breakfast.
Good morning, everybody. Only 5 more hours left to live.
George Gibbs, where are you going?
Just stepping across the grass to see my girl.
You put your overshoes on. It's raining torrents out. You will not leave this house without yours being prepared for it.
Oh, Ma, it's just a step.
You'll catch a death of your cough and cold all through the service.
George, listen to your mother.
From tomorrow on, you can kill yourself in all weathers, but while you're in my house, you will live wisely, thank you. Maybe Miss Webb isn't used to callers at 7 in the morning. Here, take a cup of coffee first.
Be back in a minute. Good morning, Mother Webb.
Goodness, George, you frightened me. Now, you can come in a minute out of the wet, but you know I can't ask you in.
Why not?
You know as well as I do, the groom can't see his bride on his wedding day, not until he sees her in church.
Oh, that's just superstition. Good morning, Mr. Webb.
Good morning, George.
Mr. Webb, what sense is there believing in a superstition like that?
There's a lot of common sense in some superstitions, George.
Millions have followed it, George, and you wouldn't want to be the first to fly in the face of custom.
How's Emily?
She hasn't waked up yet. I haven't heard a sound out of her.
Emily's asleep?
No wonder. We were up till all hours sewing and packing. Now, I'll tell you what I'll do. You sit down here a minute and drink this cup of coffee with Mr. Webb. I'll go upstairs and see that she doesn't come down and surprise you.
Well, George, how are you?
Fine. I'm fine, Mr. Webb. What sense is there in believing in a superstition like that?
Well, you see, on her wedding day, a girl's had out to be full of clothes or one thing or another. Don't you think that's probably it?
Yes, I never thought of it.
Girl's out to be a mite nervous on her wedding day.
I wish a fellow could get married without all this marching up and down.
Every man that's ever lived has felt that way about it, George. But it ain't been any use. For a while now, the women folk have had weddings all their own. Man looks mighty small at wedding, George. All those good women standing shoulder to shoulder, making sure the knot gets tied in a mighty public way.
But you do believe in it, don't you, Mr. Webb?
Yes. Oh, yes, son. Don't you get me wrong. Marriage is a wonderful thing. Wonderful thing. Don't you ever forget that, George.
How old were you when you got married, Mr. Webb?
Well, I had gone to college and taken a little time to get settled. But Mrs. Webb, she wasn't much older than what Emily is now. Oh, George, age ain't much to do with it, not compared with other things.
What were you going to say, Mr. Webb?
Oh, was I going to say anything at all? George, I was thinking of some advice my father gave me when I was getting married. Charles, he said, Charles, start out showing who's boss. He said the best thing to do is give an order, even if it don't make sense, just so she'll learn to obey. And if anything about your wife irritates you, her conversation, or anything, just get up and leave the house. That'll show her, he said. And, oh yes, he said never let your wife know how much money you have. Never.
I don't think I could do that,
So I took the opposite of my father's advice, and I've been happier ever since. Let that be a lesson to you, George. Never take advice on personal matters. George, are you going to raise chickens on your farm?
What?
Are you going to raise chickens on your farm?
Well, Uncle Luke never thought of it, but I thought that.
I got a book in my office the other day about the philo system of raising chickens. I want you to read it. I'm thinking of starting small in the backyard and putting an incubator in the cellar.
Charles, ¿estás hablando de nuevo de esa bandita incubadora? Pensé que estaban conversando sobre algo que valiera la pena.
Bueno, Myrtle, si quieres darle algún consejo al muchacho, sube y tú dejas solo con él.
George, Emily's got to come down and eat her breakfast. She sends you her love, but she doesn't want to lay eyes on you. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Myrtle, creo que no conoces aquella vieja superstición.
¿Qué quieres decir, Charles?
Decirle, desde el hombre de las cavernas, el novio no debe ser dejado solo con su suegro en el día de la boda o en los próximos días. No lo olvides.
Thank you very much, Mr. and Mrs. Webb. Now, I'll have to interrupt again here. You see, we want to know how all this began. This wedding. This plan has been a lifetime together. I'm awfully interested in how such big things like that begin. You know how it is. You're 21 or 22. You make some decisions, and then whoosh, you're 70. You've been a lawyer for 50 years, and that white-haired lady at your side has eaten over 50,000 meals with you. How do such things begin? George and Emily will show you now the conversation they had when they first knew that, as the saying goes, they were meant for one another. But before they do, I want you to try to remember what it's like to be very young, and particularly the days when you were first in love, when you're like a person sleepwalking. You didn't quite see what street you were in. You didn't exactly hear what was being said to you. You were just a bit crazy. Will you remember that? Please? Well, they'll be coming out of high school at 3 o'clock. George has been elected president of the junior class, and as it is June, that means he's president of the senior class all next year. And Emily has just been elected secretary and treasurer. I don't have to tell you how important that is. Yep, there they are coming down Main Street now.
Elise, really, I can't. I have to go home.
Okay.
Goodbye. Oh, Ernestine, can you come over tonight and work on Latin? Isn't that Cicero just the worst? Tell your mother you have to. Goodbye, Helen. Goodbye, Fred.
Hello, Emily.
Hello.
Can I carry your books home for you?
Why, sure, it isn't far.
Excuse me a minute, Emily. Hey, Bob, if I'm a little late to practice, start anyway, and give Herb some Long Islands.
Goodbye, Bob.
Goodbye, Bob. I'm awfully glad you were elected too, Emily.
Thank you.
Emily, why are you mad at me?
I'm not mad at you.
You've been treating me so funny lately.
Well, George, since you said something, I might as well come right out and say, goodbye, Miss Corcoran.
Goodbye, Miss Corcoran. A change? What do you mean?
Well, up to a year ago, I used to like you a lot. And I watched you as you did everything because we'd been friends for so long, and then you began spending all your time at baseball. And you never stopped to speak to anybody anymore, George. Not even your own family you didn't. And it's a fact you've gotten awfully stuck up and conceited, and all the girls say so. And they may not say it to your face, but that's what they say behind your back. And it hurts me to hear them say it, but I have to agree with them a little. Now, I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but I can't be sorry I said it.
No, Emily, you stick to it. I'm glad you spoke to me like that. I never thought that such a thing was happening to me. I guess it's hard for a fellow to not have faults creep into his character.
Well, I expect a man to be perfect, and I think he should be.
I don't think it's possible to be perfect, Emily.
Well, my father is, and as far as I can see, your father is. So I don't see why on earth you shouldn't be too.
Well, I feel that's the other way around, that men aren't naturally good, but girls should be.
Wait, George, you ought to know right now that I'm not perfect. It's harder for us girls to be perfect as a man. We girls are more nervous. Now, I'm sorry I said all that about you. I don't know what made me say it.
Emily.
Now I can see it. It isn't the truth at all, and I suddenly feel it isn't important anyway.
Emily, would you like an ice cream soda or something before you go home?
Thank you, George, I would.
Hello, George. Hello, Emily. What do you guys have today? What? Emily Webb, what have you been crying about?
She just got an awful scare, Mr. Morgan. She almost got run over by that hardware store wagon. Everybody says that Tom Huckins drives like a crazy person.
You take a drink of water, Emily. You look all shook up. Tell you got to look both ways before you cross Main Street these days. Gets worse every year. What do you guys have?
I'll have a strawberry phosphate.
No, I have an ice cream soda with me. 2 strawberry ice cream sodas, Mr. Morgan.
2 strawberry ice cream sodas. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know, there are 125 horses on Main Street this moment I'm talking to you. State inspector came in the other day, bringing in these new automobiles. Best thing to do is just stay inside. I tell you, I remember when a dog could sleep in the middle of Main Street and nothing could disturb him. Here they are now. Enjoy them.
They're so expensive.
No, don't you think of that. We're celebrating our election. And do you know what else I'm celebrating?
No.
I'm celebrating because I've got a friend who tells me all the things that ought to be told me.
George, please don't think of it like that. Why, you're...
No, Emily. I'm glad you spoke to me like that. But you'll see. I'm gonna change. You bet I'm gonna change. And Emily, can I ask you a favor?
Yes, George?
If I do go away to, say, agriculture college, would you write me a letter once in a while?
Why, yes, George, but it seems that being away 3 years, you might start to get out of touch with things. Maybe letters from Grover's Corners might not be that interesting after a while. After all, when you think of all of New Hampshire, Grover's Corners isn't the most interesting. But I think it's a nice town.
There wouldn't be a day that goes by where I wouldn't want to know everything that goes on here. I know that's true, Emily.
Well, I'll try and make my letters interesting.
You know, whenever I meet a farmer, I always ask him whether he thinks it's important or not to go to agriculture school to be a good farmer.
Why, George!
Yeah, and some even say it's a waste of time. I mean, you can get all those things anyway from the pamphlets that the government sends out, and my Uncle Luke's getting old. He's about ready for me to start intaking his farm tomorrow, if I could. And like you say, Emily, being gone all that time in other places, meeting other people, gosh, if anything like that could happen, I don't want to go away. I guess new people aren't any better than old ones. I'll bet they almost never are. Emily, you're as good as a friend as I've got. I don't need to go into the other towns and meet the people there.
Well, George, it's a whole year away. I don't see why you have to decide now.
No, Emily. I'm making my mind up right now. I won't go. I'll talk to Pa about it later tonight.
Well, George, you might need to know about those cattle judging and soils and those things. Of course,
No, Emily. I'm glad you spoke to me about that fault in my character. What you said was right, but there was one wrong thing in it. And that was when you said that for a whole year, I haven't been noticing people. And while you, for instance, you say you were watching me all that time while I did everything, I could say the same thing. Why, sure, I always thought of you as one of the chief people that I thought about. I always made sure where you were on the bleachers and who you were with, and for 3 days now I've been trying to walk home with you, but something has always gotten in the way. Like, just yesterday, I was standing over against that wall, waiting for you, and you walked home with Miss Corcoran.
What? George, life's an awful funny thing. How was I meant to know?
No, Emily. I'll tell you why I'm not going to stay agriculture college. I think that once you found a person that you're very fond of, and they're fond of you too, and they're interested enough in you to care about your character, well, I feel that's just as important as college is, and even more so. That's what I think, Emily.
I think that's awfully important too, George.
Emily, if I do make a big change and improve, could you be?
Yes, George. I am now and I always have been.
So I guess this is an important talk we've been having.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Wait just a minute and I'll walk you home. Hey, Mr. Morgan, I forgot the money at home. I'll have to come back and get it later. I'm sorry, it'll only take a minute.
But, George Gibbs, do you mean to tell me?
Yes, but I had my reasons. Here, take my gold watch and keep it until I return with the money.
Keep your watch. I'll trust you, George.
I'll be back in 5 minutes.
I trusted 10 years, George, not a day over. All of your shock, Emily?
Yes, Mr. Morgan. It was nothing. Thank you.
I'm ready.
Well, now we're ready to get on with the wedding. There are a lot of things to be said about a wedding. There are a lot of thoughts that go into a wedding. We can't fit them all into one wedding naturally, especially not one in Grover's Corners where they're awfully plain and short. In this wedding, I play the minister, which gives me the right to say a few more things about it. For a while now, the plague is pretty serious. You see, people were made to live 2 by 2. Like Mrs. Gibbs said, I don't really know what that means, but I can guess. This is a good wedding, but people are so put together that even at a good wedding, there's still a lot of doubt way down deep in people's minds. We thought that ought to be in our play too. The real hero of the scene isn't on stage at all, and you know who it is. It's like what one of those European fellas said. Every child born into the world is nature's attempt at making the perfect human being. Well, nature's been pushing and striving for a while now. We all know that nature likes quantity, but I think she likes quality too. That's why I'm in the ministry. And don't forget all the other witnesses at this wedding. The ancestors, millions of them, set out to live 2 by 2 also, millions of them. Well, that's all my sermon. It wasn't very long anyway.
No sé por qué estoy llorando. Supongo que no hay razón alguna. Me vinieron lágrimas esta mañana al desayuno. Ahí estaba Emilia, tomándolo como ha hecho durante 17 años. Y ahora se marcha a tomarlo a otra casa. Supongo que esta es la razón. Y Emilia de repente dijo, no quiero más, y puso su cabeza sobre la mesa y lloró. Es que tengo que decirlo. Es sumamente cruel tener que mandar nuestras hijas al matrimonio de este modo. Es cruel, lo sé, pero no pude decirle nada. Espero que sus amigas le hayan dado algún consejo. Yo misma llegué al matrimonio con los ojos vendados. Todo el mundo está equivocado. Eso es lo cierto. Ahí vienen.
Hey, George! George!
Hostio!
Look at him, fellas. He looks scared to death.
Yo!
Don't look so innocent, yo, geezer.
We know what you're thinking.
Don't disappoint the team, big boy!
All right, that'll do. That's enough of that. There used to be an awful lot of that kind of thing at weddings back in the day. Rome and later. We're more civilized now. So they say.
George, what's the matter?
Ma, I don't want to grow old. Why is everybody pushing me so?
Why, George, you wanted this.
No, Ma,
George, you're a man now.
No, Ma, for the last time I tell you, all I want to do is to be a fella.
George, now stop. If anyone should hear you, why, I'm ashamed.
What? Where's Emily?
George, you give me such a turn.
Cheer up, Ma. I'm getting married.
Let me catch my breath a minute.
Now, hold on. You save Thursday nights. Me and Emily will come over for dinner every Thursday night. You can count on it. Now, what are you crying for? Come on, we've got to go get ready for this.
No quiero casarme. Y allá está George, que se ve tan. Quiere morirme. Lo odio. No quiero casarme, papá.
No te pongas nerviosa, Emilia.
No quiero casarme.
Todo está bien.
We can go away from here. Vámonos de aquí.
Detente y piensa.
¿No recuerdas cuando decías todo el tiempo, ay tú niña, vámonos de aquí, trabajar contigo? I could keep house.
No debes pensar así. Estás solo nerviosa, Emilia. George, you come here a minute.
Pero, papá.
Te va a costar de muchacho el mundo. Jorge es un muchacho magnífico. George, I'm giving her my daughter. Do you think you could take care of her?
Mr. Webb, I want to try. Emily, I'm going to do my best. Emily, I need you. Te amo.
If you love me, help me. All I want is somebody to love me.
I'm going to do my best, Emily. I'm going to try.
And I mean forever. Forever and ever, you hear?
Ahora ya saben que va a marchar bien. Go on.
Do you, George, take this woman, Emily, to be your wedded wife?
Perfectly lovely wedding. Loveliest wedding I ever saw. Oh, I do love a good wedding, don't you? Doesn't she make a lovely bride?
I do.
Emily, do you take this man, George, to be your
Aren't
wedded
they a lovely couple? Oh, I don't know when I've seen such a wonderful wedding, but I always cry. I don't know why it is, but I always cry. I just love to see young people happy, don't you?
I've married over 200 couples in my day. Do I believe in it? I don't know. Marries and millions of them. The cottage, the go-kart, the Sunday afternoon drives in the Ford, the first rheumatism, the grandchildren, second rheumatism, the deathbed, the reading of the will. Once in 1,000 times it's interesting. Well, let's have the Mendelsohn's wedding march.
Aren't they a lovely couple? Oh, I'm sure they'll be happy. I always be happy. That's the great
This time, 9 years have gone by, friends. Summer, 1913. Gradual changes in Grover's Corners. Horses are getting rarer. Farmers are coming to town and forward. People are locking their house doors at night. Ain't been any burglars in town yet, but we heard of them. You'd be surprised, though. On the whole, things don't change much around here. This is certainly an important part of Grover's Corners. It's on a hilltop. A windy hilltop. Lots of sky and clouds, and often a lot of sun and moon and stars. You come up here on a fine afternoon and see range on hills. Awful blue they are. Way up there by Lake Sunapee and Lake Winnipesaukee, and way up, if you got a glass, you can see the White Mountains in Mount Washington, where both Conway and Conway is. And of course, our favorite mountain, Mount Monadnock, and all the towns that lie around it. Jaffrey and East Jaffrey, Petersboro, Dublin, and quite a ways down is Grover's Corners. Yes, a beautiful spot up here. Mountain laurel and lilacs. I often wonder why people prefer to be buried in Woodland, Brooklyn, when they might pass the same time up here in New Hampshire. Those are the old stones. 1670, 1680. Strong-minded people that go a long way to be independent. Some people walk around laughing at the funny words in the stones. They don't do no harm. Genealogists come up from Boston, get paid by city people to look up their ancestors, want to make sure they're daughters of the Revolution and the Mayflower. Well, I guess I don't do no harm either. Whenever you come in contact with the human race, there's layers on layers of nonsense. There are some Civil War veterans, iron flags in their grave, New Hampshire boys. Had a notion that the Union ought to be kept together, though. They never see more than 50 miles of it themselves. All they knew was the name, friends. The United States of America. The United States of America. And they went and died about it. This is a new part of the cemetery. Here's your friend, Mrs. Gibbs, and let me see. Mr. Simpson, organist of the Congregational Church. Mrs. Soames, she enjoyed the wedding awfully so. You remember? Oh, and lots of others. Here's Editor Webb's boy, Wallace. His appendix burst when he was on a Boy Scout trip to Crawford Notch. Yes, and awful lot of sorrow has sort of quieted down up here. People just wild with grief have brought their relatives up to this hill, and you know what it's like. And then time, and sunny days, rainy days, and snow. We're glad they're in a beautiful place, and we're on our way here ourselves when our fit's over. There's some things we all know, but we don't take them out and look at them very often. We all know that something is eternal. That something has to do with human beings. Greatest people alive have been telling us that for 5,000 years, and yet you'd be surprised at how people lose hold of it. There's something way down deep that's eternal in every human being. You know as well as I do that the dead don't stay interested in us living people very long. Gradually they lose hold of the earth, and the pleasures they had, the ambitions they had, the things they suffered, the people they loved, they get weaned away from the earth. That's the way I put it. weaned away. They stay here while the earth part of them burns away, burns out. And all that time they slowly get indifferent to what's going on in Grover's Corners. They're waiting. They're waiting for something they feel is coming. Something important and great. Aren't they waiting for the eternal part of them to come out clear? Some of the things they may say maybe hurt your feelings, but that's the way it is. Mother and daughter, husband and wife, enemy and enemy, money and miser. All those terribly important things sort of throw plain up to you. And what's left when memory's gone and your identity, Mrs. Dinvitz? Well, there are some living people left. There's Joe's daughter, an undertaker, supervising a new-made grave, and there's a Grover's Corners boy, left town to go out west.
Good afternoon, Joe Stoddard.
Good afternoon, good afternoon. Let me see now. Do I know you?
I'm Sam Craig.
Gracious sakes alive. Of all people, I should know to be back at the funeral. Been away a long time, Sam.
Been away over 12 years now, Joe. I'm in business out in Buffalo, but I was in the East when I got the tragic news of my cousin's death. So I thought I'd combine a couple things and come and visit the old home. You look well, Joe.
Yes, yes, can't complain. Very sad our journey today, Samuel.
Yes.
Yes, yes. I always say I hate to supervise when a young person is taken. They'll be here in a few minutes. I had to come here early today. My son is supervising at the home.
Old Farmer Carter. I used to do chores for her after school. She had a lumbago.
Yes, we brought Farm Carter here a number of years ago now.
Oh, my Aunt Julia. I'd almost forgotten that she'd, Of course.
Yes, Doc Gibbs lost his wife 2-3 years ago about this time, and today's another pretty bad blow for him, too.
That's my sister Carrie's boy. Sam Craig.
I'm always uncomfortable when they're around.
Simon.
Do they choose their own verses much, Joe?
No, not usual. Most of the bereaved pick a verse.
Doesn't sound like my Aunt Julia. There aren't much of those Hersey sisters left now, are there? Ooh, let's see. I wanted to see my father and my mother.
Over there with the Craigs, Avenue F.
He was an organist at the church, wasn't he? He drank a lot, we used to say.
No one was supposed to know about it. He'd seen a peck of trouble. Took his own life, you know.
Did he?
Hung himself in the attic. They tried to hush it up, but of course it got around. He chose his own epitaph. You can see it there. It ain't a verse exactly.
It's just some notes of music. What is it?
Oh, I wouldn't know. It was wrote up in the Boston papers at the time.
How did she die, Joe?
Who?
My cousin.
Oh, didn't you know? Had some trouble bringing a baby into the world. 'Twas her second, though. There's a little boy about 4 years old.
Grave gonna be over there?
Yes. There isn't much more room over here among the Gibbses, so they're opening up a whole new Gibbs section over by Avenue B. You'll excuse me now. I see you're coming.
Who is it, Julia? My daughter-in-law, Emily Webb.
Yeah, I declare. The road at the head must have been awful muddy. What did she die of?
In childbirth.
I'd forgotten all about that. Wasn't like awful. And wonderful.
Oh, wonderful was it?
Simon. Now remember.
I remember Emily's wedding. Wasn't it a lovely wedding? And I remember her reading the class poem at graduation exercises. Emily was one of the brightest students ever graduated from high school. I remember Principal Willikins saying so time after time. I called up upon them at their new farm just before I died. Perfectly lovely farm.
Está en la misma calle donde vivimos.
Así es, una granja está muy bonita.
I was hoping they would sing a hymn.
Hello?
Hello, Emily.
Hello, Miss Gibbs.
Hello, Mother Gibbs. Emily? Hello. It's raining. Yes, dear. They'll be gone soon. Just rest yourself. It seems last thousands and thousands of years since I...
Papa remembered that was my favorite hymn. Oh, how I do wish I'd been here longer. I hate being new here. Hello, Mr. Simpson.
How do you do, Emily?
Mother Gibbs, me and George made that farm into just the loveliest place you ever did see. We thought of you the whole time, and we wanted to show you the new barn and the cement drinking fountain we bought out of the money you left us. I did? Why, yes, Mother Gibbs. Don't you remember? It was the legacy you left us. Why, it was over $350. Yes, Emily. Well, it's a patent device that makes it so the drinking fountain never overflows and never sinks below a certain mark. It's fine. It won't be the same to George without me there. Though it's a lovely farm. Mother Gibbs, live persons don't understand, do they? No, dear. Not very much. They're sort of shut up in little boxes. Well, it seems last thousands and thousands of years since I knew them. My boy is spending the day at Mr. Carter's house. Mrs. Carter, my boy is spending the day at your house. Is he? Yes, he loves it there. Mother Gibbs, we've got a Ford too. Never gives any trouble. Though I don't drive. Mother Gibbs, when does this feeling go away? Being one of them? Shh, dear, just be patient. I know. Look, they're finished. They're going. Look, Mother Gibbs. Father Gibbs is bringing some of my flowers to you. Oh, how he looks so much like George. Mother Gibbs, I never realized before how troubled and in the dark live persons are. Oh, how I loved him so. That's all live persons are, from morning till night, is troubled.
It's a bit cooler than it was.
Yes, that rain's cooled it off a little. Those northeast winds always do the same thing, don't they?
If it's not a rain, it's a 3-day blow.
But Mother Gibbs, one can go back, right? One can go back there and relive all those memories again. I feel it. I know it. Just then, for a moment, I was thinking about the farm, and
You good?
it was as plain as day.
You know
My
that, right?
boy on my lap.
I got it.
Yes, of course you can. One can
When we
go
left
back
off,
there
I
and
was
relive all those
the bad
memories
one,
over
right?
again.
I was the bad
Why?
one.
Why not?
I killed my
All I
cousin.
can say is,
Yeah.
Emily, don't.
I think we should restart.
Yeah. I don't know where you're at.
Again? And relive those memories? Yes.
You see the thing that they down there never know. You see the future. You know what's going to happen afterwards.
And that's painful? Why?
When you've been here longer, you'll understand that your job here is to forget and only think about what's ahead. When you've been here longer, you'll understand.
But, Mother Gibbs, how can I ever forget? That life is all I know. It's all I had. But it's something I must know for myself. I won't choose over a sad memory anyway. I'll choose a happy day. I'll choose the day I first knew I loved George.
No. At least choose an unimportant day. Choose the least important day of your life. It'll be important enough.
Then it can't be since the wedding, or since the baby was born. I can choose a birthday, though, at least, right? I choose my 12th birthday.
All right. February 11th, 1899, a Tuesday. Is there a special time of day you'd like?
Oh, I want the whole day.
We'll start at dawn. You remember it had been snowing for several days, and it stopped the day before. They've begun clearing the roads. The sun's coming up.
Why? There's Main Street, and there's Mr. Morgan's drugstore, but before he changed it. And there's the livery stable.
Yes, it's 1899. This is 14 years ago.
Why, this is the town I knew as a little girl. And there's the old white fence that used to line the house. Oh, I love it so. I had forgotten about it. Are they inside?
Your mother'll be down in a minute to make breakfast.
Will she?
And you remember, your father'd been away for several days. He came back on the early morning train.
No.
He'd been away to his college to make a speech in Western New York at Clinton.
Why, there's Howie Newsome. And there's our policeman. Only, he died. He's dead.
Buenos dias, Will.
Buenas noches, Howie. Me tocó encontrar un borracho de casa de coger arriba o por solacos.
Estás madrugando.
Al secador irado en la bajera en casa cotejero, ben su cara cuando lo escuché.
And there's Sam Crowell.
Morning.
Morning.
¡Sí, Emilia! ¡Es hora de levantarse!
Aquí estoy, Mama. Oh, how young Mama looks. I didn't know Mama was ever that young. Oh, I love it so, everything. I can't look at it all hard enough.
Puedes venir a vestirte cerca del fogón si quieres, pero apresúrate. Buenos días, señor Newsom. ¡Qué frío!
10 grados bajo cero en mi establo, señora Webb.
Imagínese. Abríguese bien.
Adiós. Vamos, Bessie.
Mamá, no puedo encontrar mi cinta de azul de mi pelo de mi hair.
Abre los ojos y mira bien, querida. La dejé tendida sobre el ropero, allí.
Sí, sí.
Buenos días, Bill.
Señor Webb. ¿Mugar?
Sí, acabo de regresar de mi vieja universidad en Nueva York. ¿Ha habido problema aquí?
Bueno, me está más setentiniana. Rescatar un porado.
Debemos ponerlo en el periódico.
Adiós.
Papá.
Buenos días, mamá.
¿Cómo te fue, Charles?
Me parece que bien. Le dije unas cuantas cosas. ¿Todo marcha bien aquí?
No ha sucedido nada especial, pero está haciendo mucho frío. Howie Newsom dice que su termómetro lee 10 grados bajo cero.
Sí, hace más frío en la universidad de Hamilton. A los estudiantes los saltaban las lágrimas. No es para cristianos. ¿Había errores en el periódico?
No vi ninguno. El café está listo para cuando lo quieras. No te olvides, Charles. Hoy es el cumpleaños de Emilia. ¿Te acordaste de traerle algo?
Sí, ¿qué regalo? ¿Dónde está mi niña? ¿Niña qué cumpleaños?
No la molestes ahora. La puedes ver al desayuno. Está muy atrasada. Ay.
How young they look. Why did they ever have to get old? Can I go inside?
Yes.
Buenos días, mamá.
Bueno, querida, un cumpleaños muy feliz para mi niña. En la mesa de la cocina te esperan algunas sorpresas. Pero, cumpleaños o no, espero que tomes bien tu desayuno. Quiero que crezcas y seas una muchacha sana.
Oh, había olvidado. I can't.
Esto, envuelto en papel azul, es de tu tía Carrie. Y supongo que sospeches quién te envió el álbum. Lo encontré en la puerta cuando fui a buscar la leche. Jorge Gibbs debe haber venido muy temprano. Muy lindo de su parte.
I had forgotten all about him.
Esto, envuelto en papel amarillo, es algo que encontré en el ático, entre las cosas de tu abuela. Ya eres lo suficientemente grande y pensé que te gustaría.
I can't. Mama, look at me just a moment, as if I were really here. Mama. It's been 14 years. I'm dead now. Mama, you're a grandma. Wally's dead too. Mama, he died on a camping trip to North Conway. Mama, we felt just terrible about it. Don't you remember? Mama! But for now, we're all together. For now.
Esperaba que te gustara. Lo busqué por todas partes. Tu tía Carrie no pudo encontrarlo en Concord, así que tuve que mandarlo a buscar a Boston. Wally también te tiene algo. Lo hizo en la clase de trabajos manuales. Está muy orgulloso, entonces tienes de qué demostrarle entusiasmo. Tu padre también te tiene algo. Ni yo misma sé lo que es. Oh, ahí viene.
¿Dónde está mi niña? Mi niña con el cumpleaños.
I can't do it. It's all too much. And all this was going on and I never even noticed. Why? Take me back up the hill to my grave, but first, wait. Oh, world. You're too precious for anybody to realize you. Goodbye. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, Grover's Corners. Goodbye, Mama Eat Papa. And sunflowers and clocks ticking. Goodbye, new iron dresses. And food and coffee. And warm baths. Goodbye, sleeping and waking up. Goodbye. Oh, world. Does anybody ever realize you? How precious. Every minute that they live it.
The saints and poets do. Maybe.
I'm ready to go back. Were you happy? No. You were right. I should have listened. That's all live persons are. Just blind people.
Look, it's clearing up. The stars are coming out.
Oh, Mr. Stimson, you were right.
Yes. Now you know. Now you know. What it is to be alive. What it is to ride on a cloud of ignorance. Going up and down, trampling on the feelings of those around you. To spend and waste time as if you had a million years. To always be at the mercy of one self-centered passion or another. That is the happy existence you wanted to go back to. Ignorance and blindness.
Simon Simpson, that's not the whole truth and you know it. Look at that star. I forget its name.
My boy Joel was a sailor. He knew them all. He would sit on the porch evenings and call him out by name. Yes, sir, wonderful.
Star's mighty good company.
Yes, it is.
Here comes another one of them.
That's funny. Make no time for one of them to be here.
Goodness sakes.
Mother Gibbs. Yes, Emily? Look who it is. It's George. Shh, dear, just trust yourself. It's George.
My boy Joel, the one who knew the stars. But that's what he always said. Millions of years.
Goodness, that ain't no way to behave.
You ought to be home.
Mother Gibbs. Yes, Emily? My persons don't understand. Do they?
No, dear. They don't understand.
Most everyone's asleep in Grover's Corners. There are a few lights on. Shorty Hawkins down the depot just watched the Albany train go by. In the livery stable, someone's setting up late and talking. Yes, it's clearing up. There are the stars, doing their old crisscross pattern in the sky. Scholars haven't settled on the matter. They seem to think that there are no living beings up there, just chalk and fire. But this one's straining away. Straining away all that time to make something of itself. The strain is so bad that once every 16 hours, everyone lies down and gets a rest. 11 o'clock in Grover's Corners. You get a good rest too. Good night.